Why is the wall falling to pieces?
I am extremely tired. Just giving up.
Working for someone else or a big company isn't for everyone. Have you ever dreamt of working for yourself, no boss telling you what to do and picking your own hours? Over the next few months, I'll be meeting 6 young entrepreneurs who are trying to do things their own way.
Colourful, comfortable and cool.
I believe I can do better, and I can do better doing it myself.
Almost half of start-up businesses don't make it past the 3rd year.
Just flap your arms maybe a little bit.
So do these guys have what it takes to succeed?
No! 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my God.
We're cooking for 120 people and it's about to be a tornado. Oh my God!
That's going to cost you 4,500.
Oh my God.
Advice for other entrepreneurs.
Don't do it.
Hi, I'm Jamz Supernova. I present on BBC Radio 1 Extra, and every week I speak to young entrepreneurs and creatives, hearing their stories and finding out how and why they went it alone. The number of 16 to 24-year-olds working for themselves has almost doubled since 2001. Better technology means that people can now work from anywhere and at any time. As well as a radio presenter, I also DJ, run a record label and create club nights. I want to speak to other entrepreneurs to find out why 9 to 5 isn't for them and how they're trying to make it work. So I'm travelling around the country to follow the journey of 4 businesses and the young entrepreneurs behind them. The first person I've come to meet is Keaton. We've met before when he came on my radio show. Keaton's a photographer. He normally earns around £850 for a shoot, but he also sometimes works for free. He's photographed artists like Stormzy, Hardy Caprio, One Extra's DJs like Cyan Anderson, and me. Hey Keaton. He started out taking pictures of his mates in a South London skate park.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
What does it mean to you?
It's kind of where the whole creative side for me kind of arose and kind of took place. With skate photography, it's very angular and you always want to get the best angles. So for me, I kind of adapted that, brought that forward to portraits.
Yeah, that's the one I like. And you mentioned that you dropped out of university for personal issues, so what happened?
Yeah, so last July I actually lost my mum, so like for me it was like the first sense of being alone, and like being self-employed anyway is you feel very alone because it's just you, but like I just using the energy that she gave over when she passed to just excel me forward and just achieve more and just get billboards so she can see them and just keep pushing and keep striving. I always want to be the best. I always want to do like great photos. I always want to make sure what I do is the best of my capabilities. So sometimes it does get a bit overwhelming and you actually forget about your troubles in your personal life, and then it just hits you at once.
And knowing that you are a perfectionist, what are some of the things that you really want to get better at?
Organisation. I think definitely to organise my time a little bit more. I'm not just working for a company where I go in and do a 9 to 5. I choose my hours, so I have to really be controlled and push myself.
My next stop is Birmingham, where I've come to meet fashion designer Mimi Gold. Mimi doesn't make any profit from her business. Everything she earns goes back into buying more materials. She pays the rent through other part-time jobs. Mimi's brand has got a growing following on Instagram. It's where she sells most of her streetwear clothes. Mimi started out on her own a few years ago, but earlier this year, business partner Joss came on board. So how did it start then?
It was completely by accident. I got fired. So I started sewing things because obviously I dropped out of uni and I was studying fashion design. And I started making things and my friends were saying, you know, these are really cool, you should try selling these pieces. And then I did, and then more people wanted them, and then I made a website, and it just kind of, it took me, do you know what I mean? It wasn't my idea to go, oh, I'm gonna start a fashion business. It kind of pulled me along with it.
So what's the plan for the brand then?
To be honest, all of that stuff is, now I don't have to think about that, I've got a Joss.
Yay. All right, Joss, master plan, let's go.
I know. So the master plan is to continue with what we're doing at the moment, getting as many gifts out to as many cool people as we can to get more people to recognise the brand, and to get more people to buy, because when you buy from us, it means that we can then reinvest and reinvest.
And I can eat.
And
that
she
would be
can
really
eat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I don't ever want this brand to be this amazing, shiny, perfect thing. I always want me to be able to turn around and go, next week I want to put this out as a collection. I always want to keep it, not grassroots, but real.
But how do you keep it real whilst also making money? Next, I'm heading north to Huddersfield to meet Adam. At 21, he's my youngest entrepreneur. He's facing some very different challenges.
Hey Adam, you alright?
Inspired by his dad, Adam started a digital signage company earlier this year.
So I grew up helping my father, who did traditional signage, so vinyl, acrylic, all that kind of stuff. He's always grown up saying, don't do business, even though he had his own business. And it sort of motivated me to actually prove everybody wrong and prove myself wrong sometimes as well.
What is the significance of this shop?
One day I was walking into this store to pick up a pizza, and it just so happened that he was refitting his stores. And I thought to myself, this is a perfect opportunity, and it just so happened it became my first digital signage order.
Adam's got the added pressure of providing for his young family. He's got to support his partner Annalise and their rather sleepy son Dean.
Being a young father, you know, has made me really be determined. So every morning I wake up and I look at Dean and I think, you know what, today you're going to get an order because you're going to do it for your son and you're going to grow your business, so maybe in the future you're going to pass it down to him or whatever, you know. So it's about making a life better for us all.
Earlier this year, Adam was crowned the National Entrepreneur of the Year after pitching his business to Peter Jones from Dragon's Den.
I cried, I literally cried. I didn't realise it meant so much to me as well, so it was really sweet. I thought, wow, all your hard work's paid off finally. It was nice to see him get some recognition, because I don't think many people believed that it would actually turn into something
Absolutely.
We've had big as it can be.
Many people doubt us.
Adam spent most of his £5,000 prize money on his van, so the pressure really is on to secure some sales. From the city streets of Huddersfield to the country lanes of Stratford-upon-Avon, I'm meeting Zoe and Jess, the founders of street food truck Trailer Trash. Zoe's full-time, but Jess also has another job.
We thought it would be a really good idea to get into festivals with this trailer.
To get free tickets?
Yeah.
They bought the caravan from an elderly woman for £750 and converted it themselves to save money.
It was a big job, but
we quite recklessly did it as well. There were some things that we pulled out that we probably shouldn't have.
At one point we ripped out this huge water system, and then we were like, we'll just get a new one. Googling water systems,
suddenly it's very.
Oh god, £2,000. Right, okay. Better go through the skip. We cried. We laughed more than we cried. We've had terrible gigs that have been complete washouts, and we've been stood in the rain for 7 hours, and we've served 3 portions.
Well, I want to have a look inside.
Okay,
Show
come
me.
on in.
I wanted to know what aspects of the business do the girls need to improve on.
Obviously we get a lot of work on social media, but that becomes quite a full-time job to really nail that down. So it would be good to get a bit of organisation in handling that.
So it seems to me the girls are lacking a bit of direction. Perhaps some help with social media would help make their brand clearer. All these guys are doing great, but it seems they could all do with a bit of help, so I've arranged for them to meet some of the top people in their industries. Rankin is one of Britain's best-known photographers. He shot pretty much every famous person imaginable, including the Queen, Arnie, and Robert Downey Jr. Rankin's also a huge inspiration to Keaton.
How you doing, man? You alright?
Good.
Keaton.
So, tell me all about it.
Yeah, photographer.
How old are you?
23, man. Just turned in May.
Cool, let me see your work.
Keaton's been experimenting with 3D images, which he's keen for Rankin to see.
This 3D thing, a lot of people have been trying to do that and you're just doing it by moving your camera. That's really good. That's good as well.
Thank you, man.
And that. This is great. This is such a good portfolio for you.
Thank you.
See, a lot of people say don't do freebies, but I really disagree with that.
I also disagree, yeah.
I think you should be doing as many freebies as you can, because I would say a day where you're not shooting. You could be shooting, and all those favours always are like seeds that you plant, and they come back. Try and sit outside your comfort zone. Try and do music that's not necessarily your kind of like favourite, but stuff that you know that might have a bit more money. You know that if you do a top 10, you know, pop act, they're going to have a little bit more money than a grime artist. So, and that means if you can get a couple of those,
you can do the stuff that you want.
You can do it if you want. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
You're going to do well.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you so much. It's just crazy. Like, a camera did this. Just a man with a camera built like his own little empire. For him to say that I need to push forward with like certain things like the moving images, just kind of, it's like the green tick of approval that I should just actually do it and keep going.
Fashion designers Vin and Omi are one of Britain's leading sustainable fashion brands. They've dressed Lady Gaga, Beyonce and even Michelle Obama. Mimi and Joss are heading to meet Omi as the eco brand gets ready for London Fashion Week.
Hi, how are you? Mimi, nice to meet you. Hi, Omi. Hi, Joss. Nice to meet you, partners.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, how you doing?
Cool, so let's see some of your stuff.
This is from the summer stuff that we did. It was just spandex when they came in sort of rainbow colours in very simple shapes, so like tiny little tops. And then the really popular this summer actually was the cycle shorts.
Where are you pitching yourself at?
It's closer to a high street price point now that I want it to be a business. Well, that it is a business that I live off and she lives off. We've got to think about the profit of it, so.
The high street is a very, very saturated market.
Yeah.
It's beyond saturated. You may not fall in a high street price point. The reason why the high street price point works is because it's on a massive scale that they're doing.
Yeah.
So you're sitting yourself in that price bracket when you don't have that capability of doing. One exercise maybe what you should do when you go back is draw a cross. So get a big piece of paper, put it up against the wall, and you put the luxury market. So you put luxury, and then you put high street.
Yeah.
Then you put designer, and then you put high street. And what you do, you start plotting every brand that you think is your competition and where they sit. Once you plotted all that brand, I want you to find a spot that is empty, that you can sit in comfortably, and that's your USP.
It's just clicked into place in my mind, is you're talking about having something that's tangible and visual, because we do most of the things that you're talking about, but we don't.
They stay here.
They stay in our head.
We do need to really sit down and have it there.
Do you have a business plan? So maybe next week, what you need to do is plot and do a business plan.
Definitely the planning thing. I'm really bad at planning, and I know it is crucial, but I'm just like, she's gonna do it. I'm joking. No, we definitely need to do that.
We need to plan.
Yeah.
Zoe and Jess are meeting one of their food heroes, chef and award-winning writer Gizzy Erskine. She runs her own restaurant and has written loads of cookbooks.
Hello. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really pleased. I just snuck in with one of these. Hello, Bells. Nice to meet you. Hello. How you doing?
So talk to me about the food, because first and foremost, any food business, that should be your key intro. So like,
So we always say it's like the food, the drink and the good times. So we're really aware of like the food being a massive part, but also the environment and the setting and the ambience.
What dishes? Tell me some dishes.
Okay, so on our street food menu, we normally do a classic big bad burger, but with really top quality ingredients.
Junk food, but good quality produce.
So you don't have to feel too bad about eating.
It's the way forward. It's what we all want. Can I ask you something rude? Are you making money?
We are making money, yeah. I mean, we spend money also. So at the moment,
we're always like, we've worked so hard, we should get some flights to Ibiza.
You need to think of packages, hen do's, stag do's, you know, weddings, you know, I'm sure you've got that already, but actually visualizing these things is really useful. Booze, remember, makes like, I think, I should know this off the top of my head, shouldn't I? I think it's about like 4/5 of every restaurant is booths. So that's where they make money. The food and creative is what people go for. The booths is why people stay.
Well, we love booths.
Yeah, and that's it. And it's so part of your brand. So I would get very, very acquainted with local businesses, local booze brands, local pubs, and, you know, tap into that sort of stuff.
So what did Gizzy really think of Zoe and Jess's business?
The thing I'd love to see them talk more about is their food. The food needs to be, we are a food business. And actually it took me about 3 or 4 times to ask them before they actually spoke about food. And even then I don't really understand what food they are offering.
At 21, Adam may seem pretty young to be starting a business, but his mentor is even younger. Akshay Ruparelia runs one of the fastest growing online estate agents in the UK. Doorsteps.co.uk is worth £16 million. So I reckon he can give Adam a bit of advice on tech business.
What's your plan, say, for the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 years and 5 years? Where do you see yourself in each of those? Because that's a really important step, planning.
At the moment it's just digital signage, so it's just doing simple screens and controlling content for people.
How many orders have you done so far of signs or restaurants, for example?
So at the moment I've only done a couple. And the orders that I have got are not of that value. Each one may be coming out under £1,000.
So all the money that you're making now in terms of supporting your family, is there any left to reinvest into the business?
There's not much. In Huddersfield, like I said, digital signage hasn't really taken off. So the customers that we're dealing with, they don't really want to spend a lot of money.
Do you have a website set up yet?
At the moment, I'm still developing a website, something that I need to definitely work on.
As a digital company, people will see that as your shop front. All right, bear that in mind. So especially if you're working from home, your shop front is your website. So whenever people look for credibility and people research into the brand, they will need to see a website. So I think the first thing I'd do is what we did is get a website live. Get a really basic website. You could think it's horrible, but just start off with something. Because once you start, you can then develop on it from there with customer feedback and family, friends and so on. The next thing I'd say is get some graphics on your van. Everywhere you drive, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that will see that. And that's eyes on your brand instantly.
It was really good, it's great. It's giving me a t-shirt.
I think he's fantastic in terms of the long-term goal he's got in mind, and it's great that he's got that ambition. I think he needs to take the smaller steps to get there, and I think he needs to understand what those specific smaller steps are and make sure he takes those steps to ensure that he can support his family more consistently and grow organically over time.
It's like the beginning of Twister.
For all these businesses, summer is a key time to make some money. So will the entrepreneurs take on the advice they've been given and put it into practice? Despite a heatwave for most of it, the Trailer Trash girls seem to have found themselves in the middle of a storm as they try and prepare food for a wedding in Oxfordshire.
Oh my god!
And it's a bit of a write-off at a car show too.
We are coming to you from rainy Wroxall Manor.
A very rainy, classic car show.
It's like total wipeout.
Just show you here.
Mimi and Joss have been frantically preparing for Notting Hill Carnival.
This weekend, I am extremely tired. Just given up and gone home. I guess I can have life and I'm rich, right? I'm hoping that I will see some outfits on Carnival Day in Notting Hill. That would make my day.
Adam is really pushing the sales and has secured a meeting with local businessman Eric Paxman.
I've always thought about having something digital in the window space that we've got already. I think because it's more eye-catching, it's certainly more up to date. We can put a lot more things on there.
You know, you're making my life so much easier.
I know, sorry.
I'm supposed to be selling this to you.
This is what I've been thinking because
you're right.
It's a lot easier. How much does it cost?
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go downstairs, we'll see the different screen sizes that I can offer, and whatever's the most suitable, we'll give you a quote and hopefully come to a deal.
Perfect.
Now, I'd say this is the happy medium. It's a 43-inch screen. Now, this is how it'll look. It's slightly wider. So I'll quote you for one screen.
Yes.
And that's going to cost you 4,500.
Oh my God.
It's an investment.
I'll have a think about it and get back to you.
Okay, great.
I think it's a no. It's better news for Mimi. Loads of people have been Instagramming her clothes at Carnival, including my one extra girl, Yasmin Evans. But Keaton's organisation isn't improving.
He missed the flight to Belfast the other day. I supported Rag and Bone Man in Belfast, and he missed that flight the other day.
He made it in the end, though. Taking on what Rankin said, he's doing his next job for free, and in a world he's unfamiliar with, fashion. He's helping with the creative direction as well as photographing it.
So I'm doing the visual direction. So lookbook, everything that's playing here. I've even helped design some of the clothes. The person that's creating the brand, I'm just making his vision come to life as perfect as it possibly can go.
It doesn't take too long though before things start to get a bit heated.
Just loop the vision, just loop it, press up.
It was all written down and patterned, yeah? Why is it all falling to pieces? Why am I running around doing literally everything? Dressing people, making sure people see.
Keaton keeps his cool though, and they're all smiles at the end.
Next is the world, bro. Next is bigger, better. Everything's right. Everything's right. 4 months in advance and things like this. So it's just, this is new for me. I've never done something like this of this scale. This is new for you. This is your first show. But everyone walked away smiling. Everyone walked away clapping. We left the mentor inside your mind, and that's what we wanted to do.
For the Trailer Trash Girls, it's the last event of the summer.
I think they're all cheesed up at the moment, are they?
Yes. No.
Thank you.
Food's super delicious, really, really great. I love sweet potato fries just because I love the mayo so much. It's really yummy. I like that it's like young people doing it. It is really nice, like young people starting up a business. I guess that kind of makes me want to give them business, and it's just like nice energy as well.
After we met Gizzy, actually, we were like thinking, so obviously over the next couple of months we haven't got any events, so we've got like our diary, and we've obviously got stuff booked in already, like weddings and bits and bobs like that. So we're just going to look at our diary and see where we have gaps, and then sort of, like she said, think, okay, well that week would be fashion week, then we're going to book things in with brands that we want to work with, and like sort of contact people that we want to, things that we want to do.
It's really satisfying selling out. Ooh.
It's been a few months now since I met all the entrepreneurs, and I want to catch up with them one last time. In Birmingham, Mimi and Joss are trying to get rid of the last of their summer stock. They've also taken Omi's advice pretty seriously.
The best piece of advice that he kept saying to us was plan. You need to plan, and we really truly have taken. Yeah, that day we took a step back and was like he's right.
10 steps
back.
Yeah. I'm glad that we met him. Like it was probably not a monumental, but a really important day for us in our history. Yeah.
We're just kind of cooking on the ideas that he kind of started into motion, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the only way for us to grow and for it to be achievable and sustainable as a brand, so we can both live without working ourselves to the bone, is to take that step back. And it's a big conversation. A business plan is a big conversation.
She's business and I'm creative, and we're like
clash.
My whole thing at the moment is working smarter, not harder. In terms of gifting, we're going to do it in a smarter way. I think it's about also building relationships with these people. Anyone can DM a celebrity or a blogger and send something, but there isn't anything worthwhile or long-lasting in it, so it's a part of the working smarter thing. So we will be doing it, but we're thinking a lot more carefully about it in the future.
So while Mimi and Joss are taking a step back from the brand, Keaton is definitely pushing on. It's a big job, so for this shoot, this time Keaton's got 2 assistants. So I've just popped by to see Keaton Rich in action. He's working on a pretty big shoot, and I want to find out what he's been up to since he met Rankin.
This is an artwork concept for Luke Watts. There's a song called Bulldozer. It's his new single coming out. Concept we had was to get him riding a bull, but in kind of a scenario that makes sense to him. So we got what you would never see in ever. It's like rodeo desert, then estates in the background, and just a straight up bull just stampeding through.
He's using a green screen, and then he'll create the image on Photoshop. So when we hung out in the skate park, you mentioned that one of your goals was to shoot a cover or a billboard. This isn't quite the cover of a magazine.
It's nearly there.
Nearly there, yes. So how does something like this sort of get you closer to that goal?
These are kind of skills I can bring over to. Being able to even creatively direct something like this visually will put me in a better position when I want to do magazine shoots, because I can do something crazy, I can do something wild. It doesn't have to be a simple studio backdrop. But we're getting there. Cover art one day, billboard the next, magazine the other time. We're going to get there 100%.
So with this cover in the bag, it looks like Keaton could be on his way to a billboard soon. One of the things Gizzy picked up from the Trailer Trash girls is that they didn't have a clear idea of what their brand is. So has it changed?
An event, like we're events, we do the events for, okay, this Gizzy's going to be very disappointed in me, just going, we're like this,
I have an idea, like, I have it in my head, I just can't communicate it. Like, we don't...
We need to have a flashcard.
Yeah. I think we've got all of the ideas, but I think we need to almost separate them into different things. Don't blend it all.
Our plan for next year?
Our plan for next year, we want to incorporate alcohol because that is a good earner.
Yeah.
So we're going to diversify and we're going to have Trailer Trash food and then...
Start up the on tap cocktails.
Cocktails on tap.
And just have that all under our private events umbrella and just...
Come as a package.
Send them out.
In Huddersfield, Adam's been going full DIY and has set up a home office.
Yeah, I'm good, how are you? I'm gonna love my home office. Check it out, check it out.
Oh, look at that.
So you can see I got my logo here, I got my whole branding vinyl, colours on point.
Okay, I saw the van outside.
Yeah.
Is that all part of the same branding?
Exactly.
Hey, nice.
I'm into the geometric patterns and it just looks really fresh and, you know, techie.
Yeah.
And here's my business card as well. I don't think I've showed you before.
Look at those. And what about his website?
My website's up and running now.
Yeah.
It's up and running. You want to see it?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Let's have a look. So it's basic for now, but it's something to build up on. I just got it out there and, you know, it's got all the main points and it's just a touch point, but the important thing is when I meet customers and they see me face to face, but the website, I'm happy with it and it's generating sales, which I'm happy about.
Yeah. So since I was last here, the start of summer, sitting on your sofa downstairs, having a cup of tea, how many sales have you made from then up until this point now?
So the summer was really, really tough for me. I hardly made any sales. But in the last 3-4 weeks, things have really looked up for me. Instead of running around on the street, knocking on random doors, I've actually been sitting down, researching, targeting the people who really care about their science and technology. And it's actually worked out for me. In the past 3 to 4 weeks, I've actually gained 11 clients.
That is so good to hear. Well done, Adam, well done. All the entrepreneurs have had their ups and downs over the past few months.
Summer 2018, we're done.
But what's clear to see is that they're passionate about what they do.
Say morning, Dean. Get a quick wave. Morning.
Figures show that almost half of startups fail in the first 3 years. But for these businesses, they're keen to keep pushing on and keep doing it by themselves.
I'm in charge here.